Welcome to the Drive Network podcast. It's your boy Big Bucks, a podcast that focuses to inspire you through what people drive, what people do for a living, and generally just lifestyle. And I'm not alone. I am with my brother Givo. Givo, welcome. How's it, brother?
I'm good, my brother. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a long time, Gavin. We must link up and speak about some great stuff. I think maybe if only a bit of an intro.
Yeah.
How would you introduce yourself, fella Mowatumba, the Drive Network?
It's a problem sometimes. My name is Gavin Mkhabela. I'm a property investment strategist. I'm a awarding-winning author. I'm a blogger. I'm a father. Just one of those guys just passionate about financial literacy, property, mental health as well.
Mental health, financial literacy, property, those are big topics. But I think we will touch on them as we go on, right?
Yeah.
So I think the main thing that we normally ask when we come to the Drive Network, the first question, because we know every single car has a story to it, right?
Yeah.
So we normally start with the car.
Yeah.
What's the story behind your car? Why that particular car, and how did it make you feel when you purchased that vehicle?
It doesn't have to be a current car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was my first car, Baby Looms. I loved that car. So it was a 323 Mazda Sting. I think what was so unique about the car is that it was the first car in our family. So the first person to ever have a car in our family.
Oh, yeah.
So at home, at the time, it was my mom, my aunt, my gran, and my two cousins. They are my sisters, but just to identify, I'll say my cousins.
Yes.
So it was just us at the time, and then my younger cousin had a child. So basically, the car represented new birth, I think.
My twins.
Yeah.
They're twins.
Yeah, and then I called it Baby Looms. And everybody would ask, Baby Looms, okay?
Yeah.
It became part of the family, but I think it had that, emotional attachment to it because, just being the first car in the family. And, when you go communicating and you don't have a car as a family, you always have to rely on people. So it was just, it was a blessing when it came. And then, of course, then that just opened up to then us having other cars from there on. But that car will forever be, special, really.
And I'm happy you mentioned a blessing. A car for most people is a blessing.
Yeah.
And I think for me personally, when I get a car, I'd normally take it to church and say, I'm on just bless the car.
Yeah.
Do you believe in something like that? Do you perform any rituals on a car when you get it?
Well, in our family, at the time, Gogo was still alive. Yeah. So Gogo would always fafaza it with something, pray over it, and the ancestors aspect of that.
Absolutely.
But I remember what also happened. So I was working at the time, and I was also studying. At the time, I think I was busy with exams, and I had gone to UNISA, and there was, you could study after hours.
Yeah.
And that particular day, I remember, I think it was the first time the petrol prices were very high. And I'm driving, so I used to work in town, Joburg, and then I'm driving to Pretoria. And by Ultra City there, and I'm like, there's this thing that I need to pour petrol. And I get in, and all right, I want to pour petrol, but I want to fill it up. And then this guy's like, I'm caught between just pouring petrol now, and then I'll fill up when I come back. And then this guy's like, no, why don't you just fill it up? I'm like, okay, cool. Then he fills up the car, go in. I think I just 10 minutes, something was like, no, man, just leave. When I went outside, the car was gone.
Oh.
So at first, when people say you would even want a car underneath the bed. So I'm like, okay, no man, the car was here. So I get in, there was a guy that I was studying with, but he was living in town. So I told him that I'm leaving. So I come back, I'm like, hey dude, my car is gone.
Shucks.
He's like, man, here, the security.
Yeah.
It's like, go outside and go and check it. Probably maybe you parked it somewhere, you forgot. Then I go out to look for the car again. Man, the car is gone. Then I come back, the car is gone. So now it's like, I know, this guy is serious. So we go out. Now, we need to now talk to the security guys.
Yeah.
But of course, in Pretoria, I mean, especially those hatches. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, they
in
go to
Pretoria,
they go to Mami Lord.
So splatter.
Dude. So I thought it was gone,
Yeah.
you know. So, but anyway, I was forced because of the rules to report it, you know, because I thought, that thing is gone.
But did you have insurance at the time? Now
Ah,
it opens up a
Yeah,
discussion.
there was no
Financial
insurance. I mean, you're very.
You had no
I mean, I
insurance.
bought it got 16,000. That car, like the insurance.
Yeah.
Ow. So it was like it's gone. I thought it's gone, and then Gogo was like, "It's a booyah." Man, like after like 3 weeks came back. I was got a call. It's like, no, we found your car.
They found it.
Yeah, they found the car.
But
The petrol was gone, my guy.
but
My
you got
sound.
the car.
I got the car.
So maybe
yeah.
Gogo's blessing.
The blessing. So I thought, good to so
Wow,
how important it is.
wow,
Because
wow,
as I
wow.
said, it was a big part of our family.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
and then it came back until I sold it.
That's profound, man.
Yeah.
That's profound. So tell me, because you are a financial literacy guy,
Yeah.
when you purchase a car, right? If for yourself personally, when
Yeah.
you purchase a car, maybe via finance, what are the things that you'd say you look out for when you just decide I need to buy a car?
And you know the funny thing is that the one that I'm driving now, when I bought it emotionally. And that's something I always encourage people not to do.
Not to do.
Okay. Well, emotions are going to be there, but there are those. Okay, let me give you my story. So I hit a bad patch for 5 years prior to 2018. I had to go back home, like with absolutely nothing. I had nothing. So I had a buggy at the time. So obviously, when you hit a bad patch, the last thing you're gonna do is do like the service and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have money for such
Definitely,
things,
yeah.
right? So then the engine clogged up. So when things were starting to become better, I sold the car, and I decided like, hey, I'm done with cars. So I think for about 6 months, I was like, you know what? Let me save up and I'll buy a car cash. And really for 6 months, I had like mine, or like cars, like I had mine, And one day, it was my mom's birthday. So I'm going home now, right? So I'm carrying like, the checkers, plastic bags. I had bought of cakes and all of that stuff. And so at Kohai, it's Soshanguve. So go Soshanguve. Yeah. So there is like ventures,
Yeah.
And I'm taught. Me and venture, we are not like same WhatsApp group. But anyway, I had to get on that venture. So when I was about to get off at home, and then there was this nice lady waiting to get in, and then I missed the step. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I missed the step. So when I missed the step, boom,
Plastics.
on the floor, on the ground.
Is it the lady? You focusing on the lady?
I was focusing on the lady, so I missed the step.
Yeah.
And boom, on the ground. So you can imagine everybody like, ish, That day, I was like, I'm gonna buy a car. It was Friday, it was Saturday. I'm gonna buy a car Monday. Then I went looking for a car.
So do you
on
still
Monday.
know this lady?
No, I didn't even talk to her.
Okay. I was just checking.
I didn't even talk to her. But Monday, I went and bought a car. And at the time, they gave me, because I didn't have accounts, I closed off everything. They gave me like 14%. I think at the time, the prime rate was sitting at 9.
Yeah.
They gave me 14%.
Exactly, yeah.
But now, remember, I'm emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that incident that happened. If I had a car, none of that would have happened.
Yeah.
So now I go and get a car, financing at a higher interest rate without thinking, right? Because I was emotional.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm about to finish the car now, and I check how much I would have saved if I just waited.
Yeah, but for me, then the key thing is financially. You look at what the car would cost you.
Yeah.
Let's say your installment, the fuel that you would maybe need every week.
Yeah.
The tires. Do you look at the total cost of ownership?
Everything.
As a financial guy.
Yeah, everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because I think what the mistake that we also make is you look at the installment and the insurance, but we don't count the wear and tear. You know, and a lot of people, I think they're not liquid enough. So when something goes wrong, then you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the overall aspect of that, and just obviously the eventualities that you don't think about. Yeah, that you need to cough up. So always have something in the kitty, so to speak.
So I understand the interest rate is about to go down. If it does go down,
Yeah. Yeah.
what, do you
Yeah.
do? What would you say to some people that are already financing cars?
Yeah.
Do they keep the price they've been paid? Do they keep paying what they've been paying? Or do they just enjoy paying less?
No, I always say stick to
Okay.
to what you've been
And
paying.
why?
Because the thing about it is, I mean, interest rates, they, depending on which option you are in.
Yes, yes.
So if it's a variable interest rate, it goes up and down. I mean, if you look at when it was at the lowest, around 7.25, and a lot of people really went in there. And I think that's why we are seeing a lot of distress in the market overall. Because if you're financing at a lower kind of level, then when it goes up, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Because that's why I always say that with everything, I always test as you need to stress test it higher than what it is. So actually now, if let's say somebody's buying a car now, I wouldn't stress test it at the current rate.
Okay.
So I would at least go up by 14%. So see if you can afford it. Because remember, there's qualifying and affording.
Absolutely.
Sometimes those two things, they don't.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I even call it a qualifying syndrome. You know, so people, they can qualify, but they can't afford. So you always check that to say, okay, if it goes up that much, will I still afford it?
Will I still afford it?
Yeah, so I would say keep it, actually, always be above it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even look at where you are. Say 14%. And you'll see that even when it goes up, you're not really stressed about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I think you mentioned that you went through a difficult patch.
Yeah.
And they always say that it's very easy to I think to fight when you're winning.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're losing, tell me, during that period, did you have people that are close to you that were currently winning? And how did you feel about it? How did it make you feel?
Yeah. Strangely, I mean, one of my best friends. So when I was going through the process, he bought a car. So, but he didn't tell me that he bought a car, and it was a very nice car, like convertible.
Okay.
So one time I go and visit him. How? And so I'm like, okay, then I'm looking out for the car because he had to pick me up. And then I check like, oh, this guy bought a car. So I was upset. It's like, but why did you not tell me that you bought a car?
Yeah.
Because you are my brother, right? And so it's like, no, man, you're going through tough times. And imagine telling you that
yeah.
I bought a very nice car, you know. But I think what what helped me during that process and with him is that, you know, it depends again. Remember that we don't go through stuff in the same way.
Seasons.
Yeah, and that is why I always say that my down might not be your down. But I always believe that what helped me was always seeing people winning and telling myself that I'm going to win again.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, when I hit that patch, I didn't even have any vision. Like, there was nothing. I didn't know what I'm going to do. I was back home, and I didn't have a clue. But constantly be able to see people doing well, even people that are close to you. And I think we always need to be understanding of the fact that jealousy will always be there. I mean, it's okay. Like, sometimes we fight it. Why you like, oh, what you're human. So there is going to be that element. But it is always very important to always surround yourself. And in any given level, whether things are going good, you still need to be able to have people that are doing better than you. Because that's what keeps you going all the time.
Absolutely. But good one. And you are a financial literacy guy. I can't stress that enough, right? Yeah. Black tax.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced black tax, and what was the case?
I hope Kochai, they're not watching.
Take it out, Baba. Take it out.
But yeah, I mean, it's still happening a bit, even though I wouldn't say it's hectic. But yeah, you know, you have parents, and you know, you always need to be looking out for them. Even though I wouldn't say mine is hectic. at all. It's just making sure that dad is okay, mom is okay, But I think now the big thing is there's a project I'm busy with. Through that, I also want to empower my family.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I think the other shortcoming that might be there is that, it's one thing to give people money all the time. But if we create systems, like the other ethnic groups, they have businesses and all those kind of things. And that also empowers people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And through that, that's where we also start to even talk about generational wealth, because those are some of the elements that can help us in that process. So yeah, so it's all to say next year, even my kids, like, hey, dude, you need to start selling, do something.
Yeah, teach them
So
while they're young.
yeah, so
Teach
that
them
libo
while
wona
they're
nje keep black tax.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Claro.
let them start, doing something as well. It also empowers them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tell me, Givo Uchunaing, what does Givo do if anybody's interested? Go and click Wale.
Yeah.
Uchunaing, what is it that you do and what has been the challenges
Yeah.
in being what you are and some highlights.
Yeah. So look, I think the obviously my day job is really, I talk the whole day. So I sit with people that want to invest. So I deal primarily with investors. So somebody had to say, look, Gavin, I want to invest in property. What do I do? So then I'll have a consultation. This is where you are. This is how you're going to do it. And this type of properties that we can look into. So yeah, I think that the challenging aspect is that, if you can see now, the interest rate has really hampered. It wasn't too bad, I think, for us, especially from an investment side, but it really have been a bit of a challenge. And of course, also coming from COVID. But funny enough, COVID was the best year I've ever had.
Oh.
Because, and I think it was the matter of adapting. When things hit, when challenges come, you always need to be saying, but how can I adapt to this? How can I do better? And of course, I think the blessing of like your virtual meetings also really helped. And yeah, that's where I started with the content creation type of thing and writing out stuff, the book coming up, so all that really helped. But yeah, I would say now the big issue that I also see currently is, credit impairment. Like people's credits are hectic. The credit scores are not good. People are in judgment. But I think also the big driver has been that lower interest rates when people started pack up a lot of stuff. So now it's catching up, and that's why when people now want to buy properties, they want to buy stuff, and the credits are not looking good. So, but it's I always also look at it from an opportunity perspective.
Yeah.
And part of the project that I'm working on next year is really to intensify the educational aspect of it, but not from the basis of just the technical side of things, budget and do all of that. I've also realized that, and why I include mental health a lot, that we have a lot of historical disadvantages that a lot of us, especially in the black communities. So you'll find that. So let me make an example about myself. So I'm very vocal about my low self-esteem issues. A lot of people when?
Yeah.
Like 4 years. 4 years, even until last year, Jan, where I really had to work on it. But funny enough, and it was through an incident that sparked it big time in Standard 2, Nogar.
Yes.
And this is now last year when I'm starting to interrogate how, why, and I need to fix myself. And so basically what had happened is that when I was growing up, I was very tall and very thick.
You still are tall, but
I'm still tall. I wish I was still a bit thinner. But so then I used to be teased a lot, and I used to be bullied a lot. And,
but how do they get it right to bully someone so tall?
Baba, if also so now I'm living with Ukoko, my koko at the time, my great grand. And so one day in Standard 2, now every time when the guys were bored in the classroom, they will always tease me. Like someone will crack a joke, everybody laughs. But that particular day, this idiot, Toywan, cracked a joke, everybody laughed, including the teacher.
Yeah, that's
So she cracked up, right? I don't know what that did to me,
Yeah.
but it put me in a very low kind of level, right? So now I never used to tell Ugogo about, so it was just me and her
Yeah.
in Winterfeld.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. So now that day I couldn't hold it because I was crying. And Gogo was like, what's wrong? Like then I tell her the incident. So my grand was very calm, like those calm, collected
yeah.
kind of people. So now she's like, no, everything is gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Gave me a hug and stuff, and she didn't say anything. 2 days later, Gogo went to school and went to complain. So then the principal called the teacher, and together with me, and then he reprimanded her in front of me. So then when the teacher and I went back to the classroom, guess what she said when she got in? I have an announcement. Please stop teasing Gavin because he might go and tell his grandmother. So now, obviously, kids are kids. Burst out laughing even worse. But now they're laughing at you, but you're also a snitch.
Now it's getting worse.
So that's where my low self-esteem became chronic.
Shucks.
Because I say it was a chronic disease that I've been living with. Now, all this then affects your issue or your relationship with money. Because you don't have confidence, right? So I used to get past, like, people will come, but you are a leader. Why don't you take up that management role? No, I can't do it, right? So you see now the opportunities.
Yeah, you lose
relationships,
opportunities,
yeah. Everything, business. It affected me so much.
Shucks,
So a lot of us are going through that because we come from that background where we've been told money is the root of all evil without understanding the context. But we're taking it to say money is bad.
Right.
Being rich is bad. So now how do we fix the aspect of now getting people to invest? You know, so that's why a lot of people are sitting in the fence, not necessarily they don't want to invest, but because of they've been held back by things that they should now be able to go back and fix, but without knowing that they should be able to fix them.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Yeah, I never thought of it in that angle. But I think these discussions then open up those, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, where do the guys get the book? Before we go down to the car, where do the guys get the book? And what would you say to a younger version? Just words of inspiration, wisdom.
Yeah.
Anybody watching? Yeah.
So book, I mean, they can hit me up on all socials. Gavin Mkhabela. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. On Twitter, not so much, but LinkedIn. They can send me an email, gavshaw@gmail.com. And then my number is 074-412-7614.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My man. And
Yeah,
the final message to the younger version.
Money does grow in trees.
Money does grow on trees.
You just need to know which type of tree to plant.
Then water the tree.
And water the tree.
Amen,
But, yeah.
man. Powerful. My man.
No, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you so much for making time. brother.
No, good. Yeah.
Cool. Peace. Your boy, Big Bucks. We out.